This word is consistent. Good morning. Thank you. Consistent. No, I don't let people up. We teaching. Consistent. Okay, write this word down. I want you to underline it, and then I want you to circle it. Good morning. Sorry about that, YouTube. Consistent. I need this word to be engraved in your head, ladies. Let me go ahead and define it for you because some of y'all are a little confused. There are some of y'all who think consistent means once in a while. Some of y'all believe consistent means when you feel like it, every now and again. No. Consistent means more often than not. So if there's 7 days in a week, it means at least 4 of those 7, okay? If you truly want to become your dream woman, showing up confidently, believing in herself, sticking to her plan, building her business, living life on her terms, you're gonna have to be consistent. You don't have a choice, okay? You must be consistent if you truly want to change your life. Now, let's make it easy. This is the T. Listen very closely. I can't make this up. It is so much easier for you to be consistent when you choose something off of the list that chat gave you that you actually have a passion for. Ladies, I can't make this up. It is hard to stick to something that you don't like. It is hard to stick to something that feels like a job. But your life does not have to be like that. If you choose something off the list that chat gave you that you truly enjoy talking about, that you really have a passion for, it's easy to be consistent. And when you're consistent, things actually happen for you. See, some of you guys have already tried to build an online business, but you lacked consistency because you chose niches and things you don't even like. But if you choose something that you truly love, you can be consistent and it grows, okay? Now, if chat gave you 10 things and you don't like none of the things it gave you, fine, ask for 10 more and keep asking until it gives you something that you want to use, okay? But we have to be consistent. So please underline and circle this 10 million times and remind yourself all day that you have to be consistent. The version of you who you want to become, she's already within you. She's just buried underneath the excuses. She's buried underneath the limiting beliefs. She's in there, but we got to pull her out. You got to be consistent. Also write this down too, ladies, before we get into prompt number 2. Write this down. Money flows where energy goes. Money flows where energy goes, okay? As women, we got our hands in too many baskets. We're giving our energy out to any and everybody. Anybody who want it, we give it to them, okay? You're giving your energy to your spouse, your kids, your parents, your friends, your jobs, the internet, your haters. You're giving all this energy to everybody. So by the time you're ready to work on yourself, you ain't got none. We got to start being stingy with our energy. If people don't pour into us, we should not be pouring into them. No. You need to start giving yourself more energy than you give to everybody else. It does not make you a selfish wife because you want to work on your business and build your dreams. It does not make you a selfish mother because you want to build your business and work on your dreams. It does not make you a selfish daughter, a selfish friend, because it don't make you none of that. It makes you human. Money flows where energy goes. Don't you ever forget it, okay? The more energy you pour into yourself, the quicker you can reach your goals. So stop giving your energy and attention to people who don't even matter, all right? She said, how do I find people who also pour into me? I want you to focus on pouring into you first. She said, how do I find people who pour into me? Let me tell you something before we get on prompt number 2. This is a good question. I'm glad you asked that. A lot of times we're looking for people to do for us that we don't do for ourselves. A lot of times we want people to support us and we don't even support ourselves. A lot of times we want people to celebrate us and we don't even celebrate ourselves. When was the last time you told yourself good job? When was the last time you did something for yourself? When was the last time you went and got your nails done? When was the last time you worked on something that you wanted to do for yourself? But then you're looking for other people to do it for you. No. What I want you to do is start pouring into yourself. When you start doing things for yourself, the universe aligns you with people who will also do it for you too. Okay, I can't make this up. So if your friends aren't supporting you, who gives a damn? Because you're going to start supporting yourself. And when you start supporting yourself, the universe will bring people to you who know how to support you because they also support themselves. Okay? Very good. Prompt number 2, write this down. Once you choose the digital product idea you want to use, this is prompt number 2. Here we go. Write me an ebook that helps people solve this problem. Write me an ebook that helps people solve this problem. Thank you, Jennifer. Write me an ebook that helps people solve this problem. If you've got that, got that in the chat. No student shall be left behind. If you need for it to be repeated, this is your opportunity to ask. Remember, closed mouths do not get fed. The key word of this live is what? I'm going to write it again because some of y'all just joining us. The key word of this live is execute, meaning we can't just write stuff down. We got to do it. A lot of you guys love scrolling TikTok lives because as soon as you get off this one, you go to someone else's, but you never execute any of the things that people tell you to do. We got to execute, okay? So how can we execute if we don't even know what we're supposed to be doing? Which is why you need to take notes. Very good. Now you're going to hit enter. I know, Navi. I already know. And listen, it's about to be 2026, okay? Time is just passing by. It's flying by. Next thing you know, you're going to blink and you're going to be 10 years older than what you are now, okay? So we got to lock in. You're going to hit enter. This is what I mean by it has never been easier than today to build your online business because chat literally wrote it for you. I can't make this up. Now all we have to do is copy and paste. So you will copy what chat gave you and paste it into Canva. So open your Canva app. In the search bar, type in ebooks, hit enter. It's gonna give you hundreds of templates. Just pick your most favorite one. You can swap out the colors, you can add pictures, make it look all pretty, do what you do, okay? You will copy and you will paste. Now please write this down. Write this down. KISS, K-I-S-S, good morning. This is an acronym and it stands for Keep It Simple, Silly. Ladies, some of y'all are the queens of overthinking. You overthink from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. I don't even know how you function like that, but you do it. Stop. It's not getting you anywhere. It's driving you crazy. Keep it simple, silly. Just make sure that it is clean, simple, legible. That's it. That's it. Don't overthink. Once you are done copying and pasting and you love the way it looks, you will download it as a PDF file. P is in Peter, D is in dog, F is in Franklin. Y'all better be writing this down. I'm giving y'all the tea, honey. When you are done downloading, you will upload it to your hosting site. Write these down. Stand Store, Etsy, Beacons, Gumroad, Shopify. I'm about to show you. I got you. All right. You're just going to choose one. You don't need all 5. Just choose one. Stand Store, Etsy, Beacons, Gumroad, Shopify. Okay? And there's plenty more out there. These are just some of the most popular ones. Okay? Now, y'all got this so far? We all where we're supposed to be. Okay. Listen. Let me tell you something. The beauty of having a coach and having a mentor is that they teach you things to do and not to do, all from their own personal experiences, okay? Listen, I've been building my online business for 5 years. It changed my life, okay? Made more money than I ever could imagine. But I would be lying to you if I did not tell you that I also made a lot of mistakes. One of the biggest lessons I learned on my journey, this isn't just business advice, this is life advice, okay? Ladies, We have got to get a handle on our finances. I'm going to speak on the elephant in the room. A lot of us do not know financial literacy. I know I didn't, and I know a lot of y'all don't either. You spend. Thank you, Nick. You never put yourself on a budget. You don't even know what a budget is. Whatever you want, you go and get it. And that's the problem, okay? I was making so much money and running through it. Just running through it. Always broke. How do you make so much and be broke as hell? Because I never put myself on a budget, I wasn't disciplined, and I didn't know how to tell myself no. The reason why I'm telling you this, ladies, is because just like in life, if you don't figure this out, budgets, financial literacy, you will continue to live paycheck to paycheck. I don't care how much you make. Been there, done that. These hosting sites have fees. And if you do not start calculating how much you're spending on stuff, you will find yourself in the red month after month after month. Okay? I use Stan Store. I love Stan. Stan is great. But Stan is very expensive. Stan is $99 a month. That is very high if your business isn't making that. Okay? So if you're brand new to entrepreneurship, content, all of the things, you're not coming to Stan Store. Cross it out. If you're brand new to all of this, I want you on Gumroad. Gumroad. Because Gumroad only charges you a percentage when you make a sale. Okay? So there's no monthly fee. When you make money, then they charge you a fee. 10%. That's a great place to start. Okay? And now, what I know about you is this. You're going to end up making money because you're taking notes, you're asking questions, and you're going to execute. So when you do start building your business and generating income, then come to Stan. Because Stan has a lot of features that will help you expand your business. Let me give you some tea. They got Afterpay and Klarna. Listen, customers love payment plans. Buy now, pay later. It's running the world, okay? And if your website has a buy now, pay later option, I promise you this, you will make a lot. Yes, you will. Just work with what you have, start on Gumroads, build up your business, and then come to Stan later, okay? Now, what we just did was we created the ebook. That's what we did. We took Canva, we took chat, we put it together, and we made the ebook. Now, I'm gonna teach you how to sell it. We gotta sell it. Now, before we get into sales, let me tell you this. Sales is 80% of the business. That's more than half. So we gotta get it right. But before we get into sales, I need to tell you this. That process of copying and pasting and making that ebook should not take you longer than 2 hours. Respectfully, it shouldn't take you longer than 1. And I don't care how old you are. Age ain't nothing but a number. You're not going to tell me it takes longer than 2 hours to copy something that AI gave you and paste it into Canva. No, it does not. If it is taking you longer than 2 hours, we have a serious problem. One problem that you might be experiencing, and I used to be the exact same way, this is a judgment-free zone, you want to be perfect. Let me guess, ma'am. Everything about you just must be perfect or it's not right. You're a perfectionist, right? Okay, so you're the woman who's gonna waste 6 months of her life that she'll never get back because you gotta be perfect. So you gotta overthink and overanalyze and try to make everything right. You're gonna get frustrated because it will never be perfect and you're gonna give up on it again. Then you're gonna waste 3 more months overthinking, overanalyzing, and believing that you're not worthy of success. And then when you do decide to get started yet again, you're gonna go first ask 20 people what they think you should do with your business. Meanwhile, the people that you're asking, they don't even run a business, and you wouldn't even trade lives with them anyways. But for some reason, you really care about what they think. And then when they do give you their opinion, you're gonna listen. Then, next thing you know, a whole year has gone by and you haven't done anything for the business, for the goals, and for the woman that you want to be. Why are you talking to me like that? Listen, Toria, I already know because I've been there and I've done that. What all of this really is, okay, is you living in fear. Do I say, listen, I already know. You're living in fear, ma'am, okay? I already told you on this live, fear stands for fuck everything and run, and that's what you're doing. You are running from the business. You are running from your dreams, and you're running from the version of yourself that you want to be. Because you're so fearful of trying something new and looking stupid. You're so fearful of putting yourself out there and not getting the results that you want in the time frame in which you feel entitled to. See, the results will always come, but you feel entitled to when they come. You're so fearful of people talking about you. So you make up all these excuses. You do all this perfectionist, OCD, overthinking crap because you're living in fear. But if you want to dig even deeper to that, all of this is self-sabotage. Self-sabotage is our brain's way of protecting ourselves from disappointment. You hate feeling disappointed in yourself. You hate the way it feels. Your ego can't handle it. So you make up all these excuses, you procrastinate, you overthink because you don't want to feel disappointed in yourself if it doesn't work. So you self-sabotage. But you already told me that you're not 1000% happy with the life that you live. You already said that you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck. You also said that you're sick of your own BS. You're tired of always giving up on yourself and you want to change it. I'm trying to help you bring more money into your house, okay? So we can stop struggling, so we can finally live life on our terms. But we can't do that if you don't have anything to sell. How can customers give you their money and help you build your business if you don't have anything to sell? They can't. You're holding yourself back. Because, listen, it will never be perfect. So you might as well let it go. It will never be perfect. You're going to accept that. You are not perfect. Nothing about you is perfect. I'm not perfect. So you will never be able to make anything perfectly. You will launch with what you have and understand that you will get better along the way. All of your favorite businesses that you shop with today got better over time. Look at Netflix. I don't know how old you are, okay? But believe it or not, Netflix did not always have a fancy Netflix app. No. They were not always doing comedy specials with Kevin Hart and Dave Chappelle. No. And they didn't always have their own original Netflix movies and series either. Once upon a time, you used to have to go on their website, netflix.com. You had to make a list of the movies you wanted to see. It was a favorites list, okay? And these weren't their original movies. These were movies that were once in theaters. They would mail you a DVD. Remember those? Some of y'all like, gosh, yes. You used to have a DVD player to watch the DVD. You had to put it in there and you could watch it as many times as you wanted, okay? And when you were ready for the next movie off of your list, you had to mail that one back and then they would mail you the next one. They didn't wait to have all the funding. They worked with what they had. Yes, Redbox too. They worked with what they had. And they got better along the way. And what I say, as you make more, then you can spend more to improve the business. As they started making more money for their business, they started improving it. Okay? Yes, remember, loved it. Yes, came right in the mail. I'm glad I'm not the only one to remember because last week someone was like, what? Yes, okay? So you will work with what you have. Get better along the way, okay? Another reason why it might be taking you longer than 2 hours to copy and paste some words is because you're distracted as fuck. I'm gonna tell you the truth about yourself. See, when you get off work, you could work on the business, but you choose not to. You would rather sit on the phone and gossip with your friends about celebrities and who's pregnant with who. When you do have time off, like the weekend that just ended, you could have worked on your business and becoming your dream woman, sticking to the plan, but you chose not to. You would rather sit on the couch and binge watch Netflix movies for hours. Late at night when the kids are asleep, you could work on the business, but you choose not to. You choose to scroll social media all night long, laughing at funny videos. And the reason why we distract ourselves in the first place, ma'am, is because you are trying to escape. That's called escapism. There are things about your life that you are not 1000% happy with. And instead of fixing it, you would rather run from it. But the woman that you're trying to become, she doesn't run from her problems. She faces them head on. She doesn't look at challenges as obstacles. She looks at them as learning experiences to get better. So this is what you're going to do today. Instead of trying to distract yourself from a life that you don't like, you're going to fix it so that you never feel the need to distract yourself again. So today, we're turning the TV off. We are going to put the phone on do not disturb. Tell your little girlfriends you'll talk to them later. You're building your business, you're working on your goals, and you're improving yourself. You're gonna sit down in your house. No, you're not going to Starbucks, because let's be real, you're gonna get distracted there. You're gonna sit down at home. You're gonna start the ebook and you're gonna finish it. Not start, stop, come back next week, because we already know you're not coming back. Don't even sit up on this live and lie. You will start it and you will finish it. 2 hours is all you need. If we are crystal clear on all of these instructions, go ahead and put clear in the chat, because respectfully, there is no point in talking about sales if you ain't got nothing to sell. She said, I want to escape to this business you were talking about. I've watched plenty 2-hour webinars on the talking about. Let's go, Yuri. Write it down. Take these notes. Let's go. Let's go. And for those of y'all who are just tuning in, good morning. Happy Monday. My name is Coach Jazz, and I'm teaching women how to glow up their life. Ladies, there's nothing you can't have, okay? If you even had the idea, it's because the idea is possible for you. Otherwise, you wouldn't even thought the thought. But the problem is, the things you got going on in this pretty little head of yours is what's keeping you trapped. Your fear, your limiting beliefs, your self-sabotaging, you caring what other people think. It has to stop. You are worthy of success. You are worthy of abundance, and you are worthy of happiness. Don't you ever forget it, okay? Thank you, Cairo. Don't you ever forget it, all right? Now let's talk about sales. So I told y'all a few minutes ago, sales is 80% of the business. That's more than half. So we got to get it right. You don't have a choice. I'm not going to lie. Most people fail at sales. They fail, but not for the reasons that you think, because some of y'all think sales is so hard. No. Sales is not hard. Sales is actually easy. The reason why most people fail at sales is because of their mindset and the things that they think when it comes to sales. There are people out here who believe that if they talk about their product too much, they're being annoying and people will unfollow them. There are people out here, and this could be you, who think selling is begging. There are people out here who believe that they shouldn't talk about their product every day because then people will unfollow them. So let me go ahead and clear all that up. First of all, selling is not begging. Selling is solving. That's it. People have a problem, you have a solution. That's it. You're not begging anyone for anything. So whoever told you that, stop talking to them. They're sabotaging you. They're not your friends. Number 2, you don't have a choice but to talk about your product as often as possible, because people will forget. They're going to forget. People not thinking about you. They are being fed content all day long. You don't have a choice but to remind them. Why do you think I keep telling y'all to take notes? I keep telling you to write the crap down because I already know you're gonna forget. I already know that. You have heard me say that the key word of this live is execution. I've used that word about 50 times so far. Why? Because I need it to stick so that you can remember, oh yeah, Coach Jazz said I have to execute. You have to remind people that you exist. Otherwise, they will forget. Amazon does it. We're all Amazon Prime members. We all got a subscription. We all know who they are. And they still remind you all day, every day, that they exist. How? Them damn Amazon trucks. You can't even go 2 miles down the street without seeing that damn blue truck with their logo on it. They did that on purpose. So that every time you see that truck, your brain thinks Amazon. You can't even drive down a neighborhood without seeing Amazon boxes on the doorstep. They did it on purpose. They could have had any box. They made it simple and they put their logo on it. So that every time you see that Amazon box, your brain goes, Amazon. That reminds me, let me place my order. For those of you guys who have seen my face before, maybe I'm not new, okay? I'm all over the internet. I've been doing this 5 years. You might have found me on Instagram at some point, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, I'm everywhere, okay? How is it that I'm able to talk about Glow Up Academy every single day without worrying about people thinking I'm begging them for money or being annoying and unfollowing me? Because I know I have a solution to people's problems. That's how. People want to learn how to become confident in themselves. I teach them that, all inside Glow Up Academy. Women want to learn how to follow through. I teach them. They want to learn how to build their business, live life on their terms, monetize their platforms. I teach them that all inside of Glow Up Academy. I'm not worried about who unfollows me. If they unfollow me, let them go. They'll come back when they're ready to glow up their life. If they think I'm begging, let them think what they want. I don't care. Their thoughts don't dictate what I do. And because I have that energy and that attitude with my products and services, I sell, and I sell a lot. Because Amazon has that energy with their products and services, they sell, and they sell a lot. And if you want to sell a lot too, you're going to have that same energy. You don't have a choice, not in 2025. So, if you're ready for sales tip number 1, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. Let's go. Thank you, Moxie. She said, first time seeing you on my For You page. Very good. Welcome, Toria. If you're ready for sales tip number 1, put a 1 in the chat. And for those of y'all who are just tuning in, good morning. Happy Monday. Okay. Let me tell y'all a secret about TikTok. The more we interact with this live, the more we like, comment, and share, the more TikTok will push this live to more people. Believe it or not, there are a lot of women who are fed up with their BS. They're tired of feeling insecure. They're tired of not believing themselves. And they want an online business too, right? But they don't know how to build their confidence. They don't know where to start. So the more we interact with this live, the more TikTok can push this live to more people so they can learn all these things too, okay? Very good. Very good. Good morning. Thank you. You're on YouTube. Yes, welcome YouTube. Hello, hello. Okay, so we're going to talk about sales. Before we get into sales, let me tell y'all this. Ladies, some of y'all are terrified of failure. Let's define the word failure. Okay? Because some of y'all been wanting to start businesses, but you're afraid to fail. Okay? Failure only exists when you quit. When you throw in the towel and you say, I don't want to do this anymore. I give up, I'm done, I quit. Failure is not posting a YouTube video and because you didn't get 50,000 views, you failed. No, you didn't. Some of y'all think that if you launch your first ebook and you're not a millionaire by tomorrow, then you think you failed. No, you didn't. Some of y'all believe that if you start your TikTok and you don't get 10,000 views by the end of the week, then you failed. No, you didn't. Failure only exists when you quit. But if every single day you just show up trying to do better than you did yesterday, just a little bit, just do something a little bit different than you did yesterday, that's not failure, ladies. I'm just asking for a little bit of improvement. Maybe yesterday you made excuses, today you don't. Maybe yesterday you hit snooze on the alarm, today you don't. Maybe yesterday you talked about the plan and maybe today you do something towards the plan. Just do something a little bit different every single day. That's not failure because you're still trying. You're still committed. You're still giving it all you have. So for those of you guys who are so afraid to fail, just don't quit. Because if you don't quit, then you didn't fail. Now you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Good. Sales tip number 1, write this down. Make sure you guys are taking notes. Content is king and distribution is queen. Okay. Content is king. Distribution is queen. Okay. So let's break this down so it makes sense. Let's start with the content is king part. My goal for you is to have you posting content consistently. See, the content that we post is going to let people know about our products and services, okay? Well, what did we say earlier? We have to constantly and consistently remind people that we exist. You're going to do that through your content. So I want you to be posting content consistently. So once every 6 months is not going to cut it. When you feel like it is not going to cut it. Consistently. And not only will you post content consistently, you will also build 3 platforms. Distribution is queen. We're going to focus in on building 3 platforms. Well, why 3, Coach Jazz? Because 1 is too close to none, that's why. Like that 1 income you have at that 1 job. If they laid you off tomorrow, what would you do? You would be freaking out, stressing, trying to figure out how you're going to pay them bills. If you put all of your eggs in a TikTok basket and the US decides to ban it, like they were trying to do this time last year, what would you do? You'd be sitting there freaking out, like all of the other TikTokers who only had their eggs in a TikTok basket. And before you freak out, I promise you, it is not hard to build 3. It's really not. The same exact video that you put on TikTok, you'll throw it on YouTube Shorts, Facebook, Instagram, whatever your heart desires. It takes an extra 5 minutes. I do it all day. It's not hard. Get out your head. Now, which platform should you grow? That's 1000% up to you. You got a lot of options. I always suggest starting with the platform that you're always on. So if you're always on TikTok, start on TikTok because you like the app because you're always on it, so start there. And then just build 2 more. If you're always on YouTube, start on YouTube and build 2 more. But let me tell you this, in case you did not know, YouTube is the most watched platform. It's not TikTok. It's not Instagram, okay? YouTube also pays more per 1,000 views than any other platform. YouTube has replaced cable TV. So I tell you guys every time I'm live, start your YouTube channel. Start posting your content. Start being consistent on there. And you will be so happy that you did, okay? Now, before we even get into step number 2, I'm big on energy. And I know a lot of you guys, ladies, have a toxic habit of living in fear. And you're trying to let fear take over right now. Some of y'all really believe that you can't do any of this and we haven't even really got started. You think it's too hard. Posting consistently, Jazz? You want me to make an ebook? I'm not tech savvy. I don't think I can do this. I have a job. I have kids. I don't think I can do any of this. This sounds hard. Okay. Before you run away from the woman that you're trying to become, and before you give up on yourself, like you always do, hold on. Just wait. First of all, what I already know is I can't convince you of nothing. I don't even try. I do not have the ability to convince you of anything. So if you want to believe that starting an online business, sticking to the promises that you make to yourself, building your confidence, if you want to believe that all of it is just so hard, I'm going to let you think it's hard. Fine, you're right, it's hard. Happy? Cool. But you know what else is hard? Living a life that you're not happy with. You know what else is hard? Going to a job that you hate. You know what else is hard? Watching other people live a life that you want. You know what else is hard? Not believing that you're worthy of success. And you do that every day. Thank you, Keisha. You do that every day. But that's what fear will do. And you let it. Fear will convince you that everything that we've talked about is out of reach for you. That's what fear will convince you of. And you're letting it. Failing to realize that there were things that took place in your life that were way harder than this. And you got through it. It amazes me. And again, I used to be guilty of this too. It's not just you. We never want to give ourselves credit where credit is due. Look at the things that you do every single day that's really hard. And then here you are today doubting your ability to do this. We haven't even said anything. Some of you guys are single parents. You have nobody helping you. The father of your children is not helping you. Grandparents aren't helping you. You're literally doing it by yourself. And you do that every day. And then you're sitting here doubting your ability to record a 30-second TikTok video and hit post? Really, ladies? Really? Some of you guys are working 80 hours a week. That's hard. But you're doubting your ability to copy something that AI wrote for you and paste it into a Canva template. Really? Really? Some of y'all are damn near superwoman. I don't even know how you go through half of what you go through. But you go through it. You make it look effortless. And here we are, not thinking that we can do any better than what we already got going on. Really? No, I don't accept that. No. And listen, I don't have to convince you of this. You see this for yourself. There are people on these apps who are in worse off situations than you, still showing up every day, building their business. There are women on this app, you see it for yourself, with more kids than you, still showing up every day, trying to build their business, build their dreams. There are people on this app who have real disabilities. I'm not talking about some damn ADHD, please. There are people on this app who can't walk. They're in wheelchairs. They have sickle cell. They're always in the hospital. And they still show up, doing the best they can, building their business, working on their dreams. There are people on this app who have lost it all. They lost their job. They lost their house. They lost their car. But they didn't lose hope because they still get up every day working towards their goals, building their business, just trying. Ladies, some of y'all don't have those problems. Let's just be real. Some of y'all, okay. Some of y'all, you dealing with some really tough stuff. Some of y'all, absolutely not. Some of y'all are sitting pretty. And you don't even believe you can do this. She said, yes, I don't want to work hard anymore. I don't know how people can work too. I don't know how they do it either. And they do all of that and don't think they can do this. And that's what fear does. Listen, I'm not going to lie. My online business changed my whole life, you guys. I can't make this up. I have made more income than I ever imagined. I have peace. I have freedom. I do what I want, when I want, and how I want to do it. I get to wake up every day doing what I love, having purpose, I have more confidence than I ever had in my entire life. But before all of this, I started during COVID. Before all of this, I had a very different life. See, I used to work a 9 to 5. And I was so excited when I got that job, you guys. Oh my God. I was 23. And this was about to be my first full-time job with benefits, PTO, 401k, health insurance, all of the things, all right? See, I always had jobs, but the jobs I was used to was fast food. I've worked McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Hardee's. I've worked every fast food chain. But when I got this job at 23, oh, I thought I was about to be rich, okay? See, $60K a year was what they were gonna pay me. And I had bought into the American dream bullshit that they sell all of us. They told me to go to college, get a 4-year bachelor's degree, accrue a whole bunch of student loan debt, graduate, get a good job with stability and benefits. You'll work for 30 or 40 years, you'll contribute to Social Security, but when you turn about 75, 76, there won't be anything left for you, okay? You're gonna be too old to work, you're gonna be broke as hell, and then you can just die. So I said, okay, sounds like a plan. Let's do it. My mom was telling me to go off to school. All my friends were going off to school. I said, okay, I guess I'm going off to school too. I went and got me a 4-year bachelor's degree. It cost me $40,000. By the time I got out, 6 months later, I got my first full-time job. I was excited. I thought I was about to be rich. So I moved out of my mom's house. I didn't want to live with her no more. I was sick of her rules. I went out and got my own apartment. Now I told y'all, I didn't have the best spending habits, so don't judge me. It's a judgment-free zone. I went out and did what most Americans do. I went out and bought me a car. See, I already had a car. It was paid off, no car note, okay? But it was old, all right? No leather seats, no push to start, no touch screen, no heated seats, none of that, okay? So I had to upgrade. I was upgrading my life, all right? I went and got me a brand new Dodge Charger with a car payment. $450 a month. And with expensive cars comes expensive car insurance and expensive gas. So by the time I finished paying all my bills, you guys, your girl was broke. Broke is a joke. Broke, busted, and disgusting. Paycheck to paycheck. I had another problem. I had to start paying back them damn student loans. See, I thought the government was just joking. I didn't think they really wanted their money back. No, they want their money back. See, they'll give you 6 months after you graduate college to get on your feet. Go get you a job. They won't call, they won't send letters. But best believe, when that 6-month mark hits, they're sending you forms because they want you to submit your tax returns because they're gonna tell you what you can afford, okay? And since on paper, it said I made $60K a year and I didn't have any dependents, no kids, they said I should be able to afford $400 a month. I can't afford that. They don't care. It's not up for negotiations. That's the price. I had 11 student loan accounts lumped under one monthly payment of $400. Every month that I did not pay those student loans, which was literally every month because I couldn't afford it, I got 11 missed payments. In the course of 1 year, I can't make this up, I had 121 missed payments on my credit. My credit score dropped 520. And just so you know, you cannot bankrupt those. I already called and asked. And they will garnish your check. Keep playing. So I'm broke as hell. I have really bad credit. I had one last problem. I hated my job. College didn't prepare me for corporate America. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I grew up very sheltered, okay? I didn't know too much. I was very naive in my early 20s. I was happy, so I assumed everybody else in the world was happy. No. I learned that people at work make it their mission in life to make you miserable. See, I worked with all women, and I was the youngest one there. I didn't realize that they'll smile in your face. They'll text you outside of work. They'll invite you to happy hour. They'll even invite you to their weddings. but they don't like you. They'll do potlucks in the break room for Thanksgiving, Christmas, Valentine's Day, act like they're one big old happy family, but they don't like you. They'll even give you a birthday gift for your birthday, but they don't like you. And they will act like they're your friend and get you to open up and share what it is that you don't like about people in management, but they don't like you. And then when they have an opportunity, they will tell everybody what you said. They will stab you in the back, quick, fast, and in a hurry for a promotion. I was miserable there. I must have put in hundreds, if not thousands of applications trying to get out. No one was calling me back. I couldn't even get an interview. So I'm broke, really bad credit, miserable at my job. For the first time in my life, at 23, I felt trapped. If you've never experienced what it feels like to feel trapped, I want you to consider yourself extremely blessed. But let me give you some context. See, trapped feels like no matter what you do, your life's not gonna get no better. That's how it feels. It feels like you can pray to God all you want. It feels like he's ignoring you, like he doesn't hear you because he's not answering your prayers. You could try to be positive all day, have a positive mindset, but I promise you this, it feels like nothing but negative ass shit from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. That's how it feels. It feels like your life is a nightmare that you can't wake up from. And you can try to get a second job or work overtime so you can have a little bit of savings for a rainy day. But every time you feel like you're getting ahead, it's like something always comes and slaps you in the face. Now your car won't start. Now you got a boot on your tire because you have too many parking tickets that you can't afford to pay. It's always something. That's how trapped feels. And that's how I felt. I used to be so miserable. I would cry every single day before I even clocked in. I couldn't even sleep anymore. I became depressed. I started to have anxiety. I used to bring work home with me. You ever did that? Like you've already clocked out. You're at home and you're still replaying conversations that took place at work because you're consumed with the bullshit. It's like you can't escape. And because I was so depressed and so anxious and so miserable, I started drinking. I couldn't even sleep anymore. I had all these bills that I couldn't even pay. Everything was always late. Past due notice after past due notice. And I felt like there was nothing I could do. So I started drinking. First, it was just a few drinks a week just to calm my nerves. It quickly spiraled into every day. I became an alcoholic over a freaking jug. And the reason I'm telling you any of this is because if any of my story resonates with you, you are already doing something extremely hard. Living a life that you're not 1,000% happy with is hard. Being stressed about bills is hard. Crying every day. Asking yourself, is this life? This is it? That's hard. And you do it every day. The beauty with online business is you can do anything. The reason why I was so depressed was because I didn't believe I had purpose. I had nothing in my life to look forward to. I didn't have any hobbies. My life felt like it was on repeat. Get up, go to work, be miserable, come home, drink, sleep, repeat. Day after day, week after week. That's depressing. Who wouldn't be depressed? I was miserable. But now I get to wake up every day doing what I love. I finally have purpose. You can monetize anything, ladies. I don't care who told you your idea is stupid. It's not stupid. I don't care who told you your idea is too far-fetched. No, it's not. They just have small minds. Anything you want to do, anything that brings you joy, you can monetize and you should. But the problem with you is you live in fear. There is a life that is better than what you're living. I promise you. You're so worried about what people will think. You're so worried about looking stupid. You're so worried about failure. You're so worried about all these worst case scenarios. We never consider best case scenario. What if you try and it works? What if you stick to something and you finish it? What if you post the content and you build your community? What if you launch your product and it sells? There is something very special about you. But the problem is we allow life to beat us down. Somewhere on your journey, you lost your light. Whether it was toxic family, a toxic boyfriend, a toxic husband, whatever, toxic friends. And you allowed them to make you feel less than. And here you are today, wanting more for yourself, but not believing that you're worthy of it. And I want to say one more thing before we move forward. I hope you realize that if you work 8 hours or more like how I did, you realize you spend more time at work with people you don't even like than you do with your own family that loves the hell out you. See, I literally work 9 to 5, okay? So what should have only been a 20-minute drive is an hour. So an hour to work, an hour back because I'm in rush hour traffic, plus 8 hours at work. That's 10 hours out of my day, gone. By the time I do get home, I am drained, exhausted, tired. You only get a few hours to spend with your loved ones, your spouse, before you got to put everyone to bed and do it again the next day. Just to look forward to the weekend. But respectfully, what the hell are you looking forward to? Because Friday you still had to work. So they still got 8 hours out you. Saturday is the only day that you really get to do what you want. Sunday, no. Because you have to prepare for the work week, right? So you got to cook, clean, go to the grocery store, do laundry, and mentally prepare yourself for the bullshit sitting on your desk come Monday. You guys, that's not living. That's surviving. Life is meant to be lived, not survived. I don't know your religious beliefs, but I know this. The God I serve, the God who made me, he loves me. He really loves me. And if he loves me so much, why would he put me on this earth to be depressed? Why would he put me here to hate my life? Why would he put me here so I can cry and drink every day? He didn't. He didn't. He put me here for a special purpose, and he allowed me the opportunity to figure out what it is. And now I do it every day, motivating and inspiring women to do better for themselves. He put you on this earth for something very special too. And no, it wasn't to go to a job and slave there to make somebody else rich while you're scraping for pennies trying to make ends meet. Your life is worth more than bills. He doesn't want you crying. He doesn't want you sad. Why? He doesn't want you feeling defeated. Why would he want that for you? Really? No. He put you here for a special reason, and you better monetize it. Stop allowing distractions to hold you back from your true purpose. So sure, maybe all this is just so hard in your head, but the life that you're living is also hard. So you pick your hard, because at least this hard comes with peace. At least this hard comes with freedom. At least this hard comes with getting up every day, doing what you love and what makes you happy and brings a smile to your face. Some of y'all haven't smiled in weeks. Dry your eyes, lift your head up high, and work on your goals. If I can do it, if thousands of other creators can do it, so can you. But you have to let go of the fear. You don't have a choice. Now, let's go to sales tip number 2. Write this down. People only buy from people that they like, know, and trust. People only buy from people that they like, know, and trust. So, if they don't like you, not gonna buy. If they don't know you, they're not going to buy. And if they don't trust you, not gonna buy. So, how do we get people to like us? Well, in your content, I want you to be relatable, be authentic, and target people's pain points. In your content, be relatable, be authentic, target people's pain points, okay? Ladies, stop trying to be perfect. Yes, I'll write it down. Let me write it down so y'all can see. Okay, people only buy from people that they like, that they know, and that they trust, okay? Like, know, trust, all right? So how do we get people to like us? In your content, I want you to be relatable, be authentic, target people's pain points, okay? Listen, a lot of you guys try to be perfect. That's not relatable. When you're trying to be perfect, that's not even authentic because you're not perfect. People can't connect with perfection because nobody's perfect. The reason why I am able to build a community is because I am relatable. I'm authentic. And I touch people's emotions. I'm on this live telling you guys things that I struggled with. Being 100 pounds overweight, caring what people think, being insecure, not knowing how to spend my money, being an alcoholic. People can relate to that. Can't nobody relate to, oh, my life is just so perfect. I never cry. I never have problems. I've been perfect my whole life. So, be relatable, be authentic, target people's pain points. And for those of y'all who are afraid that people won't like you, that's impossible. Because there's 8 billion people in this world, okay? Somebody's bound to like you. And I used to be fearful of that too. You guys, when you post your content, it goes everywhere. You become an international superstar. And I'm not telling you that to scare you. I just want you to understand how silly you sound when you say things like people aren't gonna like you. There's a whole world out there. There's a whole world of people waiting to hear from you. You have a solution to people's problem. I didn't realize that when I first started. There are women all over the world who joined Glow Up Academy because I had a solution to their problem. I have students in there from the UK, Australia, Barbados, Jamaica, Canada, Germany, everywhere. All because I had a solution to people's problems and I was willing to be myself and share my story. What if I let fear take over this morning and thought I wasn't good enough and was trying to be perfect? I wouldn't even got live. I wouldn't even went live this morning. And then you wouldn't even heard this message. But that's what you're doing to other people because you won't post. So stop doing that. Just post the content. Now, we said people only buy from people that they like, know, and trust. Okay, well, how do we get people to know us? You guys, I need you to go live. Okay, going live is the best way to build your community. Now, it's not the only way, but it is the best way. Why? Because it allows people to get a sense of your energy and your vibes. It allows people to connect and engage, and it allows you to promote your products. Now, some of y'all hard-headed as hell, and you're gonna say, I don't wanna go live. And I'm gonna just say, fine, don't. I told you, I'm not gonna convince you of shit. If you don't wanna go live, don't. But let me remind you of this. You also said you didn't wanna go to work. You said you're tired of feeling overworked and underpaid. You're tired of not living a life doing what you love to do and when you want to do it. It doesn't have to be that way. See, when you choose a niche in something that you really like to do, going live is not hard. It doesn't feel like work. You can do anything you want to do, but you get in your own way. You get in your own way. And I promise you this, if you go live consistently, you will make more on live than you ever made at that dusty ass job. You see creators go live all day, all night, selling, just selling. Now, some of y'all are like, well, I would go live, Jazz. I'm not against it, but I'm just a little live shy. Okay, listen. It's normal to feel shy when you're doing something new. It doesn't mean you suck at life. It doesn't mean this isn't meant for you. It just means that it's new. You don't have enough experience doing it. That's it. But let me tell you this. Everything in your life that you did over and over and over again, you got better and better at. You didn't always know how to walk, but now you walk just fine. How? Because you had to keep doing it. You kept falling, you kept hitting your head, you kept scraping your knee, but you still got up, you kept trying. You didn't always know how to read. Well, now you read just fine. How? You had to keep doing it. You kept stumbling over your words, not pronouncing stuff right, spelling wrong, didn't even know what the hell you was talking about. Now you read just fine. You didn't always know how to drive either, but now you drive just fine. How? Because you had to keep doing it. If you're still on this live, we're about 90 minutes in, it's because you trust what I say to be true. Otherwise, you would have left. So trust this. If you just go live consistently, I promise you, you will get to a point where you are no longer shy, you're no longer overthinking, and it feels natural. But you're just gonna have to do it consistently. Now, we said people only buy from people that they like, know, and trust. Okay, well, how do we get people to trust us? You guys, there is a reason why I'm telling you to post consistently. Consistency builds trust. I don't know if you know this or not, or if you're living under a rock. Most people work extremely hard for their money. You work hard, I work hard, we all work hard. If you want someone to trust you with their hard-earned money, you're gonna have to be trustworthy, which means you're going to have to be consistent. Now, I wanna do an exercise with you guys. For those of y'all who do not have a product yet, sit this out, take your notes. For those of you guys who do have a product, but you're struggling to make the sales that you want, this is for you, okay? First, we have to remove the ego and the pride. Now, some of y'all ladies can't do that because you think you know everything. And there's nothing that anyone can teach you that you don't already know. Fine, keep thinking that. I'm not gonna convince you otherwise. Just know ego and pride get you nowhere. For those of you guys who can remove the ego and the pride, and you recognize that there's always room for improvement and you're willing to grow, I'm talking to you. We're gonna go to your profile and ask ourselves these questions. You have to be honest. Write this down. The worst lies are the lies you tell yourself. The worst lies are the lies you tell yourself. Don't you ever forget that. Ask yourself this. Is it clear as day who you are, what you do, and how you can help people? Also ask this. If you were not you, would you buy from you? If you were not you, would you buy from you? If the answer to any of those questions is no, then you no longer have a reason to be confused. There's no confusion. But